Good evening. Good to see you all. Welcome to the 44th South Carolina Honors College Convocation. I want to begin by calling the names of the Honors College staff members. These are very helpful people. Whether you want to study abroad, get into med school, figure out which courses to take, become a Rhodes Scholar, receive funding to do research, or dozens of other things. These are the people who want to help you and who can help you. So please hold your applause, cheers, and standing ovations until I've read all the names. They're in your program in case you want to follow along. So leadership is Stephen Lynn, Andrea Tanner, Kay Thomas, Chapel Wilson. Our advisors are Gabby Coggin, there we go, Erica Elberry, Wyatt Geist, Amanda Heinzman, Elizabeth Leverett, Greg Liggett, Leah Limbaugh, Allie Mathwig, Kevin Metcalf, Hannah Quire, Anna Redwine, Cammie Reed, Gracie Riley, and Tracy Skipper. Our alumni development teams, Kevin Berry, Amanda Compton, and Marcus Fogel. Our admin and others, which is student services, communications, budget, etc., all the stuff that makes the Honors College run, Mackenzie Bewley, Emily Davis, Ryan Dawkins, Will Frame, Thomas Holmes, Yolanda Hanna, Benicia Johnson, Kim Overmeyer, Anita Poole, Aida Rogers, Corey Rothman, Grace Rubenzer, and the National Fellowships and Scholar Programs, Jen Bess, Heidi Bretz, Kendall Cartley, Matt Klopfenstein, Megan Lower, Abby Smith, Jan Smoke, Brett Williams. Applause is appropriate now. We wanted you to get a chance to see these people, and I hope in the course of your time here you'll get to know all of them or many of them. They are eager to help you. They're dedicated to your success. And here's Cameron Reed, our advisor and events coordinator.
Each year, the graduating class of the South Carolina Honors College selects the SCHC Faculty of the Year. Seniors are asked to nominate a professor who has taught a class in the Honors College, facilitated conversation amongst Honors College students, and influenced the lives and careers of Honors College students. This year's recipient teaches early American history, specifically in the American Revolution, with a focus on economic history and on African Americans, Native Americans, and women. His 2009 book, Abigail Adams, won the Bancroft Prize and has been a finalist for several other book awards. He was awarded a fellowship from the National Endowment for the Humanities to write a book introducing readers to numerous discoveries about the founding of our nation. In the Honors College, he has taught several history courses on his research. It's my honor to introduce the 2022 Faculty of the Year, Dr. Woody Holton.
Thank you very much and welcome. And I just want to say to the entering class, congratulations. You are focused probably still on the fact that you chose the University of South Carolina Honors College, partly because it is the highest ranked honors college in the country. I want to make the point that it chose you. And so to be chosen to be part of the best is truly an honor. And I, as someone who was not in the Honors College when I was an undergraduate, I want to say how impressed I am with you for being here. And I can also say this from experience because I've had many great experiences here with non-honor students, with my graduate students, but especially with honor students. And I'll give you two examples. There's a student now in Divinity School who just graduated here in the spring. And I've been working for a long time with students. I teach history, but that's a lot of writing involved about topic sentences. And I want the topic sentences, don't just tell me the topic, tell me the argument you're going to make in that paragraph. And that's hard for them to do. And Henry Bolin says, why don't I just start every paragraph with 2 sentences? One for the topic and one for the argument. And he told me that about 2 years ago, and I've been teaching other students the Bolin method ever since. And the other honors student I want to mention briefly is going to turn red because she's on the stage behind me and is going to speak herself in a minute, is Riley Sutherland. I just published a book on the whole history of everybody in the Revolution, 600 pages worth. And she not only checked all 2,000 citations in that book, but she made for that book something really important, which was a demographic table, that is the population not only of the 13 colonies you've heard of that rebelled, but the other 13 British colonies that did not rebel. Did you know there were 26 when you count the Caribbean and the 2 Floridas and Quebec and Prince Edward Island, all that? And not only the population, but broken down by Native Americans, African Americans, and free colonists, and also for all the native societies east of the Mississippi River. That's the sort of thing I never would have had the nerve to do. What I did have was the nerve to ask Riley to do it, and she did it. And it's an amazing addition. One of the things the reviews point out is really great about my book. They don't like everything I did, but they do like Riley's population table. That's the sort of students that you guys are, and I appreciate that. And I want to show my appreciation by telling you that there is a gift that I want to give the entering. I wish I could give each member of the entering class, and that is a B. First, I need to explain to you guys what that is. It's a grade that you can get if you've done well in a class, but just not superiorly. And now that you've made it to this top-ranked honors program, I want you to license yourself to get a B or 2, or maybe even a grade or so lower than that, as I did plenty of as an undergraduate, because there's so many other things to do here besides doing what you did to get here, which is get all those A's. And I'll just mention, right outside this building is a street called Green Street. They're about to finish a bridge that will take you all the way to the river, and then walking or jogging on your bicycle, you can ride way down the river on the other side or way up the river along the canal on this side. And speaking of the river, the Saluda River comes out of the bottom of a dam, so it's about 60, 50 degrees right now. And the air is 100 on a lot of these days. So there's a place so you can rent an inner tube, and they run a bus up there. And you come down the tube, come down the river on the tube, and your butt is freezing, but the part of you that's facing up is burning. So you just have to flip over every now and then. We have so many things to do. Go to a professor's office during office hours, not about a class, not about a test, but say, so Nicole Maskeel in the history department, I hear you've just published a book on enslaved people and their enslavers in New York. I didn't know there were slaves there. Tell me about that. Might you someday be my honors advisor? So there's a practical side, but I want you to do a lot of impractical stuff. You know, the most exciting political race going on, I'm not going to say how I would vote, although I'm going to be stuffing envelopes for one side. In this state, this fall is the Secretary of Education, because you have one candidate, I'm not going to say names because that would be an endorsement, one candidate who thinks the solution to our problem is teachers, and the other one who thinks the problem is teachers. And that's going to be a real battle, and I want to see a lot of you guys involved, either on the same side as me or on the opposite side, because you've got opportunities to do that. Yes, you're going to do well in your classes, but I really hope you'll find the time to do all this stuff as well, because you've made it to the winner's circle. Circle around a little bit. Welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Holton. Now, it is tradition at Convocation for upperclassmen Honors College students to speak to the incoming freshman class, offering words of advice and encouragement. Today's speakers have been nominated by SCHC staff and for their involvement in and dedication to the Honors College. Please welcome our first student speaker, Claire Haynes. Good evening. Thank you everyone for being with us here today. My name is Claire Haynes, and I am a current sophomore with the Honors College and the executive president of the Residence Hall Association. First, I offer a heartfelt congratulations to you on your achievement and a job well done. Speaking before you is an honor, and I am privileged to welcome you to the South Carolina Honors College. Before I proceed, I invite you to look around the auditorium at your peers. Now smile, wave, and say hello to your honors class of 2026. Each and every new student you just waved at is just as apprehensive and nervous as you are for the journey to come. Yes, every student here today is experiencing some sort of the same emotions. And one short year ago, I sat in the very same seats with the same anxieties and uneasiness about what classes would be like, who I would become friends with, when and where I'll eat lunch and with who, and wondering where my place was at this great big university. The transition from high school to college is no easy feat, as you are feeling now. But through this scary, invigorating, and liberating transition, you can find community here too. These first few days may feel unnerving or uncomfortable, but they can be incredibly significant. Welcome Week is already full steam ahead with events happening across campus. Attend them. The best thing you can do to grow in this great new world of yours is to step outside of your comfort zone. Going to these events may seem intimidating, so grab a roommate or a new friend and you guys can go together. Try to take in the action and excitement as you start to build your community. Creating your unique space in the Honors College and beyond starts now. Join the Lettuce Club, as silly as that may sound. Attend a few intramural games and get involved with the teams. Strike up a conversation with someone sitting in Honeycomb on Chicken Tender Wednesdays, or stand in line waiting for coffee at the Buzz. Anything and everything you do now may open the doors to a community and place that you feel you belong. Being an honors student already opens a door to a wonderful community, but I encourage you to dig deeper. Build your home here. Personally, I don't have an inspirational story about one event that solely decided my community at the University of South Carolina, and I truly don't think one instance can do that. But I can say that with time and intentionally choosing growth in new places over discomfort, community can be built. Before I leave you today, I'm going to share a story that felt insignificant at the time, but speaks wonders about my time here. Prior to leaving home for my freshman year, I assured my mom that where she lived would always be my home, much to her joy. Her first baby leaving home was surely terrifying, but she was proud nonetheless. For the first few months, I referred to my house in Conway, South Carolina as home, and will travel home for breaks. However, one day, this seemingly insignificant word changed location. During the spring semester, I was speaking to my mom about returning to Columbia and referred to my little dorm in the Honors Residence Hall as my home, much to her dismay at the time. While this was upsetting to her at first, it rang true. It wasn't necessarily the dorm with all of my things that held my home. It was the friends and relationships I had grown to love and felt comfortable around. So I share this story to assure you that this will become your safe place away from home with time, and putting yourself out there to build the relationships that will anchor you here. So leave this auditorium today with the intention to attend the events and pursue friendships despite the accompanying vulnerability. As my mom says frequently, this is the first day of the rest of your life. Please welcome our next student speaker, Jada Hudson.
Thank you all for having me here today. My name is Jada Hudson, and I'm a junior political science and philosophy double major. I'm originally from Belton, South Carolina, which is so small most of you don't know where that is. I remember being in a similar spot as you all roughly 2 years ago. However, I was watching Honors Convocation alone in my dorm and on Facebook. I remember coming into college in the fall of 2020 during the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, and I struggled to make friends because most of my classes were virtual and I didn't have a roommate. I had gotten into a routine of going to classes, going to Russell House, which is now nicely renovated. It wasn't like that when I first came here. But I would go to class, go to Russell House, and back to the honors dorm. And it felt like I was in some sort of rut that I couldn't quite get out of. But I remember my freshman year, I took a Spanish honors class, and it was my only in-person class for the entire semester. And whenever my professor would ask a question, the room would fall silent. I think it was a combination of being nervous freshman and being masked that made everyone a little timid to speak up. So after about a week of the silent treatment, I decided to raise my hand. Now, my answers were rarely ever right. Spanish wasn't and isn't my forte now, but the important part was that I was trying. So why did I take the effort to try? Why did I want to participate in class? Well, I knew it was important to get to know my professors and get to know other students here on campus. And in that tradition and in that spirit, I decided to join more organizations on campus to meet more people. In high school, I was always involved, so I wanted to have that same sort of energy and same sort of spirit when I came here. With over 500 student organizations, you're bound to find something that sparks your interest and bound to find people that are similar to you and fit your personality and energy. Specifically for me, I joined student government, I joined the NAACP, the MAP mentoring program, and Black Honors Caucus. Specifically, I also joined the Association of African American Students, or AAAS, which I'm now president of. These organizations help me build my confidence, give more friends, and they're also organizations I'm a part of today. So make sure you get involved during your time here at USC. While it's important to get involved, it's also important to be dedicated to your studies. Going back to that honors Spanish class from freshman year, it was the end of the semester, and we had an oral speaking exam that was 20% of our grade. I remember studying for weeks for it, trying to get my pronunciations right, trying to figure out what my professor would ask me. And then the day before my exam, I get an email, and the subject line was, "Missed oral exam." I instantly knew that I had messed up. I wrote down the wrong date for my exam, and I went into a full panic. I sent an email to my professor, and thankfully, she let me make it up later that day. And she told me something I'll never forget. She said, "If you hadn't participated in class, I wouldn't have let you make up the exam." Participating in class is one of the most important things you can do as an honors student and as a student in general. Professors are able to tell the difference between those who genuinely want to learn and those who are just there for course credit. Honors classes are meant to be fun and engaging, so make the most out of them and actually get to know your professors. Finally, I also want you to carry your honors mentality with you as you go through life, getting new opportunities and getting new experiences. Make sure you surround yourself with people who are different from you. College is one of the last times you'll be surrounded by this many different people. The people around you are vastly different from you with different backgrounds and different experiences in life. The friends you make in college will be the friends you have for the rest of your life. They'll be the ones invited to your wedding, the ones you call on with a cool job opportunity, or the ones you lean on when times get hard. Make friends with people who are different races, backgrounds, sexualities, and religions. Don't waste this opportunity from being surrounded by people who are different from you and bring a diverse set of ideas and experiences. I hope you have a wonderful freshman year. The 4 years will go by faster than you know it. And always remember to double check your exam dates. All right, we're gonna hear our next student speaker, Mahi Patel.
All right. Hello, class of 2026. My name is Mahi Patel. I'm a third-year computer science major in the Honors College, minoring in business administration and psychology. I'm involved in the Honors Peer Mentor program as a mentor. My mentees are somewhere in the crowd here today. And the Honors College Dean's Council, and serve as co-president of Women in Computing. I am excited to see so many familiar faces here from when I was serving as your honors orientation leader. All the things we talked about over the summer, you are now going to be able to see, do, and feel. How exciting is that? Coming into university seems daunting, I know. I was you 2 years ago. But like Jada, mine was online, alone in my dorm. But now, to trials and errors, I have 3 pieces of advice to bestow upon you as you begin your college journey and career. As I'm sure you already know, your first year is integral to helping you find the communities you want to be a part of here at college. My advice to you, explore you. Join clubs and organizations that excite you. I joined Dean's Council my first year here, and I'm still a part of it, helping to create events and experiences for my fellow honors students. The Dean's Council community is where I found my voice within the Honors College, and I'm excited to continue to participate. So for you, find an organization or 2, maybe that's Lettuce Club, that excites you and go for it. You wouldn't be here now if you weren't excited and determined to grow and find your place and niche in the world. I next implore you, in the second piece of evidence, my bad. I implore you to conquer challenges and turn weaknesses into strengths. Say yes to the many opportunities you will be given as honors students, like speaking at Honors Convocation. I wouldn't be able to stand in front of you and talk if it weren't for some of the classes and experiences I took advantage of to improve my public speaking, which was not a strength of mine prior to coming to college. My third piece of advice to you is to show up. Most of you, all of you are here doing that right now with Honors Convocation. Go to your classes, meetings, and events and contribute to the community you are now officially a part of. Looking around you, these are your peers for the next 3 to 4 years. Get to know them. Get to know your professors and teaching assistants by going to these office hours. Who knows? You might be able to contribute to the next great research idea. Overall, your experiences here in the Honors College and at the University of South Carolina are what you make them to be. So here you are now. And with these 3 important pieces of advice, you now know to explore you, conquer challenges, and show up. Seeing you all here now, I know that you are ready to take over this next year the only way we all know how, as Gamecocks. So know that when I'm saying this, I'm speaking to you. Go Gamecocks, go Honors College, and go Class of 2026. Thank you. Please welcome our next student speaker, Harrison Bench.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Harrison Bench. I am a rising senior, in the Honors College. I am pursuing the Build Your Own Major BARSC program, so if you're interested in that, you could come find me after this. And it is a pleasure to be with you all here tonight as you commence your college experience at the best public honors college in the nation. One little fact that you'll keep hearing about until you graduate, so buckle up. It's surreal being up here in front of you speaking tonight. 3 years ago, I sat where you're sitting, mostly paying attention, but also relentlessly tapping my leg with anticipation and excitement. I was worried and nervous about the journey I was embarking on. In the 3 years since I sat in this very audience, so much has changed, and that might be an understatement. A global pandemic, a chaotic presidential election, a few really bad haircuts. But I've made it through all of that, as you did with your high school experiences. But it's not just the negative that separates the Harrison you see today and the Harrison who sat there 3 years ago. In those 3 years, I've joined 5 clubs, I've rushed a business fraternity, I've had 4 professional internships, I've won 2 national fellowships totaling over $30,000, and all of that within the first semester, of course, right? No, I'm kidding. Yeah, the Harrison of 2019, the freshman year Harrison sitting in this audience could not have imagined all that. And I couldn't have imagined all of those experiences. But that's not what I'm here to talk about tonight. I am not going to talk about the amazing resources, and trust me, they're amazing, that the South Carolina Honors College provides you with. Sorry, everybody. Instead, I'm going to talk to you about being a kid. So let's set the scene. You just turned 18, you've graduated high school, you've hopefully registered to vote, right? And you've moved away from your little hometown to attend college at, yes, you guessed it, the best public honors college in the nation. You've all moved into your dorm, ready to live on your own. No more mom and dad to wake you up, make you breakfast, and get you out the door. No more high school teachers holding your hand in class. It's all on you now, because you're an adult, right? Wrong. Well, okay, legally, yes, you're an adult. You're 18, you're an adult. But why does being a legal adult have to mean that you can't also be a kid? When I was sitting where you are, I had told myself that the childhood fun was over. I needed to get up in time for my 8 a.m.s, eat 3 balanced meals each day, and spend my evenings doing homework. When I had a spare minute, I thought I should be searching for an internship, or better start studying for those midterm exams. Sure, there would be fun to be had, but it would be an adult fun, an intellectual fun. I convinced myself I'd be attending trivia nights and painting workshops, which would be strictly confined to Friday and Saturday nights, because that's what it's like being an adult, right? Confining your fun to 2 nights a week. I'll cut to the chase. This model was unsustainable. I crashed halfway through the semester. I was burnt out. I had imposter syndrome. I missed my mom. I ended up getting the worst GPA of my college experience that first semester here. The transition from high school to college is tough, and putting pressure on yourself to quote unquote grow up is only going to make it tougher. After this crash, I knew I needed to do something to make myself happy, because long-term success can only come about through happiness. So I started going to concerts again with friends. I binged Nickelodeon shows on Netflix. I hung out with friends on weeknights instead of just weekends. And I started to feel like myself again. And it was only once that happened that I was finally able to begin applying to those internships, that I was finally able to start saying, this national fellowship looks like something I could apply to. It was only then when I started joining all those clubs and rushing that fraternity. You see, the professional and academic success that I found here at the best public honors college in the nation has been so helpful and has been so rewarding, but none of it wouldn't have mattered if I wasn't happy. That's a powerful statement, so I'll say it again. None of it would have mattered if I was not happy. So if I didn't have a good group of friends, if I didn't indulge myself every now and then at Chick-fil-A at Russell House, if I didn't spend some weekdays listening to music on the Horseshoe instead of studying, I was able to strike a balance between personal happiness and academic commitment that allowed me to find the success that I'm here sharing with you today. Next month, when you're sitting in your dorm, plotting your path to be the next student body president, or writing a list of scholarships that you want to apply for, remember to add something to that list. Remember to have fun. As you begin this wonderful, unpredictable, challenging, but totally worth it 4 years, remember to be a kid. Yeah, you're an adult, but when you have fun, make sure it's the fun that you really love, not this idea of fun that you need to have. Be yourself. Find people who make you feel happy. The success will follow. Thank you. And next, I'm going to invite up Robbie Pecora.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Robbie Pecora, and I am a senior double majoring in biochemistry and Spanish. It is an honor to be here and speak with you all. And I would like to also welcome the class of 2026 and some of their families to the nation's number one ranked public honors college, just in case you'd forgotten. It's great to be a Gamecock. 3 years ago, when I was sitting where you all are now, I remember a lot of family and friends were giving me advice about college. One particular piece of advice stands out, which I'm sure that you have all probably heard by now. College is what you make of it. The past few years have demonstrated just how true this is. College is what you make of it. At the beginning of my freshman year, I didn't realize that a global pandemic would significantly change my college experience. I didn't realize that in-person classes would be shut down for the final months of my freshman year and that we would all be sent home. I didn't realize that 3 study abroad trips I planned would be canceled, 2 by the pandemic and 1 by a war in Ukraine. I didn't realize that almost all sporting events would be limited in capacity for a time. Being socially isolated, I experienced some feelings of disappointment and frustration about missing out on some college experiences and anxieties about possibly falling behind in my career trajectory. Despite all this, my college years have been some of the best of my life. Recently, I returned from Seville, Spain, where I completed a month-long internship in a hospital. I rotated through 3 different specialties: surgery, emergency medicine, and pediatrics. Having the opportunity to improve my Spanish by staying with a host family while also getting to shadow healthcare professionals in another country was a tremendous opportunity. Through this experience in my January 2020 medical service trip to Ecuador, I gained a new perspective on how different countries provide healthcare. Without the funding provided by the Honors College, I would not have been able to go on either of these life-changing trips. Since my freshman year, I have worked in the Crush Biochemistry Laboratory performing structural analysis on many allergen proteins. This will be my third year of fully funded research provided by the Honors College's research grant. I have also taken many phenomenal and unique honors courses here, including The Birth and Death of the Book, Spanish for Healthcare Professionals, The Fall of the Roman Republic, and a cooking class with former U of SC First Lady Patricia Moore Pastides. I definitely recommend that one if you have the chance to take it. The Honors College offers every resource students need to succeed. You just need to take control of your future and apply for them. Although you may not experience a new global pandemic while at U of SC, and I sure hope that we don't, some type of setback will probably happen during your years here. Things will not always go exactly as planned. It is your attitude and your reaction to these setbacks that prepare you to make a comeback and make the most of your college experience. For example, if a study abroad trip gets canceled, I urge you to be resilient and adaptable and use the wonderful Education Abroad office and your other advisors to find another trip that fits your schedule. If you are struggling with a class, go to your professor's office hours and go to the Student Success Center to receive help. I have made many meaningful connections with my amazing honors professors by attending their office hours and asking questions. Take the initiative and develop that relationship with your professor or potential research advisor by asking them out to lunch or coffee on the university's dime through the Out to Lunch program. Lastly, if you are struggling to feel like you belong, please seek help from U of SC's counseling services, as well as look to join student organizations or religious groups to make U of SC feel more like home. Your college experience is largely up to you, but that doesn't mean that you have to do anything alone. An amazing advantage that the Honors College provides you is living in the Honors Residence Hall. During your freshman year, this year, you have all of these amazing freshman classmates around you who are feeling many of the same things you are. Challenge yourself to get to know those around you. Reach out, form friendships, take a chance. Step outside your comfort zone and try something new. I made many of my closest friends with the people in my dorm and on my hall. Overall, I hope that each of you finds that you love the University of South Carolina just as much as I do. Once again, congratulations to the class of 2026 for being selected to join our incredible Honors College. I wish you all the best. Please let me know if I can help you in any way, and I hope that if you see me on campus that you will say hello. Thank you for your attention, and go Cox. Please welcome our next speaker, alumna Riley Sutherland.
Hey everyone, it's great to see you all here this evening. My name is Riley Sutherland. I'm from Kansas City, Missouri, and I graduated from the Honors College last May with a BARSC, or a Create Your Own Major degree in History and American Studies. I had so much fun, I decided to come back this year to finish up a master's in US history. When the Honors College asked me to prepare some remarks for you all, I tried to remember exactly what I felt when I was sitting where you are now 3 years ago. And then I realized I don't have to try to remember because I wrote everything in my day planner. Maybe some of you are doing the same this week and can sympathize when I say, I don't know what I would do without this. Throughout high school, I kept the most meticulous planner with every club, class, and test building towards the same big end goal, getting into college. In fact, college had been at the end of my to-do list for so long that only when I was sitting in this auditorium in 2019 did it strike me, college isn't the end of the to-do list, it's just the beginning of another one. So what am I supposed to do now? I thought. I was this introvert sitting 1,000 miles away from home and had no idea what I was doing. So once I left Convocation, I made a new list of goals. They were pretty ambitious, or at least they felt that way at the time. For example, 1, figure out how to get food. 2, try walking from the honors residence hall to the horseshoe without using Google Maps or getting lost. For those of you who are curious, that one took me a really long time. 3, try saying hello to another human being. It's hard not to laugh at these looking back, right? Because they seem so small. But these really did serve as the foundation of my honors experience. I did figure out how to get food by wandering down to Honeycomb Cafe, and while there, I met several students who were in my University 101 class. It was so relieving to see those familiar faces on the first day, and that gave me just enough confidence to ask a question. How can I get involved in research as an undergrad? My U101 instructor directed me to the Office of Undergraduate Research, and they told me to find a faculty mentor. So I reached out to Woody Holton, and I said, will you advise my research? He said yes, which is great, right? And he helped me apply for a grant from the Honors College. That enabled me to ask deeper questions about history, but also about my future. What fellowships can I apply for to support my research? What conferences can I attend to discuss it with other scholars? Where can I publish? Every step of the way, my peers and faculty members were here to help answer these questions, but also to inspire new ones that helped me understand exactly what it is I want to accomplish as a student and scholar. So as you all embark on your first week here in the Honors College, I want to assure you that no goal, no bullet point on a to-do list is too small. Maybe you want to make a single friend in this first week of classes. Perhaps you want to raise your hand just once to ask a question, or if you're like me, maybe you want to make it to class in time without tripping over the bricks on the horseshoe. The incredible thing about U of SC is that you are constantly surrounded by peers, upperclassmen, faculty, and staff members who are eager to help you turn each of these little bullet points on a to-do list into bigger goals and accomplishments. Perhaps some you didn't even know were possible. So I'll conclude by welcoming you, congratulating you on making it here to the Honors College, and encouraging you to keep asking questions as the semester begins. The whole honors community is excited to help you pursue them. With that, thank you for your attendance and attention tonight, and please join me in welcoming Dean Lynn back to the podium for some closing remarks and the alma mater.
So I want to thank our student speakers and Professor Holton. You've got an intellectual feast, a social feast spread out before you. It may not all be tasty to you, but you should try it. Don't try to eat it all at once. But now is the time to think about how you want to plan your campaign. The Honors College motto is Superiority, which is dare to know. One of the ways to structure your campaign is to pick up a copy of the bucket list, which is at the table where you checked in. 50 things to check off while you're here. Also, I would encourage you to read the newsletter, which comes out every Monday. Comes out in an antiquated communication method called email. You may have heard of it. Read the student. There's just so much in the newsletter, things to take advantage of. In just 3 years and 9 months, and it will go quickly, I want to see every one of you here in this same place. I want you to imagine that moment. I want you to imagine sitting there. Your family is here, perhaps. Faculty, the staff is here. We're here to celebrate revocation, which is the bookend to convocation. And we're here to celebrate your graduation. You're going to walk across this stage. We're going to give you a medallion, which you will proudly wear at commencement. And graduate from the Honors College. What do you want to do between this point and that time? I think that's the charge to you. We have a reflection card for you. You should have a card somewhere. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes or so to write on it. There are 3 prompts, and we're just asking you to sort of project forward and to put this in writing. You will see these cards again and that's very mysterious intentionally. So at some point, they'll come back, and you probably will have forgotten about them, but they'll be, they will be valuable to you, I think. So spend a little time. Before you start writing, let me just say that we're going to sing the alma mater after you finish writing. We don't really expect you to know the alma mater yet, so it will play on the screen. The test on the alma mater, on singing it, is a couple of weeks away. Is that right? But it is a wonderful alma mater. I love singing it, especially when we've beaten somebody. But even if we haven't, it's still a wonderful alma mater. At the end, you say, "Here's a Health Carolina forever to thee," and you raise your hand like this, as if you're giving a toast. And if you have a glass in your hand, you can hold up the glass. But it's not, you don't do this, although this is a wonderful thing to do, but not at the end of the alma mater. It's not this, it's not this, it's a cup. So this is, as you can tell, this is a bugaboo of mine. But that's what you say at the end. "Here's a Health Carolina forever to thee." So I'll be quiet and give you a minute or two. If you don't finish writing, you want to think some more, that's fine. You can linger in here. And then when you're done, turn your card in at the same place that you checked in, which is the same place to get your bucket list, and then join all of us for some refreshments at the reception out in the lobby. Okay? So, right away. So as I say, take your time. You're welcome to stay in here and write some more. Again, thank you for being here. Thank you for coming to the University of South Carolina. Thank you to the staff who made this possible. And we really look forward to getting to know you over the next 3 years and 9 months. And let's have the alma mater now. Please stand.